you guys hear me back there? No. You guys hear me? All right, awesome. My mouse is not working, so I'm gonna have to go back and forth. So before I get started, just trying to get an idea of who's in the club. How many Apple users we have here? iPhone users? Okay. What about Android? What about neither? No? All right. So raise your hand if you've ever cracked your phone screen. Okay. Raise your hand if your phone screen is cracked right now. That happened to me a week ago. So before I jump into this, introduce myself. My name is Jacques Bastien. I am a designer. I'm a writer. I'm a professor at UAlbany. I teach a UI UX design course. And what most people know me for is that I'm the founder of a local marketing agency that goes by the name of Boogie. We're a small team of 10, and we help companies market, create advertising programs to reach millennials. That's basically what we do. So I started the company when I was in college, and as a young agency, we think of ourselves as underdogs. So a lot of times when it comes to getting our names out there and acquiring more customers and more clients, we feel like we always have to be as disruptive as possible. So last year, around April Fool's Day, we started thinking about a few ways we could, a few things we could do to get a few more press mentions and get our names out there a bit more. So ultimately, we went around, had a few meetings with our team, and ultimately we decided that we wanted to print the internet. So what we ended up deciding was, on April Fool's Day, we wanted to create some kind of a prank that would print the internet. We didn't know how many people we wanted to reach. We had no idea what we were going to do. We just knew the goal is we wanted to print the internet. So after a few weeks of meeting, we ended up we concluded with a concept called Shoot, which is short for the word parachute. So essentially, Shoot is an app that runs in the background of your phone. And what happens is it uses the phone's gyroscope and accelerometer, and as the phone falls, it picks it up and it starts vibrating a certain way. And that vibration breaks your phone's fall. So essentially the way it works, it looks something like this. All right, so obviously the video was really fast, but essentially that was the concept, and that was Shoot. So that's the idea. And what we did, we spent a week and we started developing this idea. Now, one thing that a lot of people didn't realize was that this is actually not possible, at least not yet. So, but that didn't stop us. We went and designed the app, designed a screen for the app. We put together a social media campaign. These were the Twitter headers and Facebook. We put together a website. And what every startup website needs: the splash page, the download at the App Store, the FAQ section. So we had a legitimate looking app. We did everything we could to make sure it look as believable as possible. And we even created a video obviously that you just saw, and here's the video one more time, just in case anybody did not believe that this app was real. And lastly, so this is how we put together a video. We shot 2 clips and had a pillow on the floor in the first scene, and as you can see, it quickly switches. All right, whatever. All right. So basically, we sent out a press release. We found some of the writers, TechCrunch writers, USA Today, all those guys who've written about apps, apps doing something like this and things like that, and we sent them out a press release, and that's the press release we sent out. We did not we didn't know what was going to happen next, but within one day from when we sent out those press releases, we got an article from The Observer, and that article was shared hundreds of times. And then after that, it was picked up by a bunch of other publications. USA Today, TechCrunch, all those guys reached out to us saying they wanted to interview our founder, which was Daniel O'Connor, who's not real, by the way. So we spent the day before April Fool's Day doing interviews with different publications. And Daniel just held up the story the way it was on the website. So what happened is, as soon as those articles got published, our goal was, we talked about, it would be great if we had 200 people sign up. We had a sign up to get more information section on the website. And within about 4 hours, we had 3,000 signups on the webpage. And we had a few signups, we had a few job inquiries, a lot of interns and people who wanted to build a product for Android, others wanted to build a product for Windows. And then eventually we revealed that it was actually a print. And that print ended up getting us on articles like top prints of the year, right? With the likes of Google and all those guys. So it was great, and it was really exciting. Excuse me. So the reason that I came in, I wanted to share with you guys, basically break down how we saw the success we saw with Shoot. Because I know a lot of us in the audience may be founders or co-founders of certain products, and maybe this is something that you're trying to do for yourself. So what I ended up doing was breaking down our entire process into 4 different steps, 4 different reasons why Shoot went where it did. The first reason that Shoot spread so fast, and not even to get into myself, at the end of everything, we ended up calculating how many press mentions and everything we saw, and we saw about 6 million impressions from Shoot. And as soon as we hit 3,000 early sign-up requests, we turned off the form because it was just getting outrageous. So, but we're pretty sure if we kept it going, we would have gotten into the 50,000 range of early sign-ups. So the first reason that Shoot spread the way it did was authenticity. It's very ironic because obviously it wasn't a real product, but it looked authentic. We had the right design, we had the right logo, we even had the story of the founder, Daniel O'Connor. We even created a Twitter profile for that founder himself. And I mean, everything you could think about, our FAQ section addressed most questions that people would have, like how does this work and things like that. So in terms of authenticity, it was 100% there. The second reason was growth hacking. There are a lot of tricks and techniques that we did, and for those in the audience who may not know what that means, in human definition, it's basically tweaks and things that you do to a certain product that allows us to see growth fast, right? So some of the things we did for Shoot, we optimized the meta description and title so that if somebody shares it on Facebook, based on what they read on Facebook is going to make that that other person want to see what this app is about, and when they share it, it's just a loop that keeps growing. We had a few things in the email that you sent once you sign up for early access. It says you can bump yourself up the list by sharing this link. So basically, if you look right here, you guys can't really see it, but it says, "Oh shoot, an app that prevents your phone screen from breaking when it falls," and then link. So a lot of people shared that tweet that was recommended at the end of the email because they wanted to get themselves higher on the list. So the second thing was growth hacking. The third thing was urgency. So on the website, we had a section that said the app was going to be $2.99, something like that, but the first 1,000 people sign up, they would get the app for free. And because everybody was excited for Shoot, they wanted to sign up and be the first to get it. So we saw a lot of growth basically through urgency. And then the fourth reason is because it was actually a good idea, right? A lot of us have products that, cool ideas that we have, and sometimes they may not be the best ideas, right? And the thing is, Shoot is a good idea because it actually solved the problem that a lot of us have, whether we've broken our phone screens before or it's something we worry about every single day. So because of that fact, people who shared the news about Shoot, they were excited to basically, it's social currency, right? You're the first guy in your circle to say, hey guys, trust me, this is for you. This is something you need to do. And to step back on the growth hacking thing that I mentioned before, is that a lot of people started tweeting their friends saying, hey man, did you see this? Last week I remember you broke your, whatever the case may be. So the fourth reason is that it was an actual good product that actually solved the problem. And those are the reasons that shoots went as far as it did. You know, right now we're thinking of our 2016 shoot, what we're gonna do. But we will say that, I mean, the whole experience was exciting. We did make a few enemies. The Observer and a few publications. I don't think they'll be writing about us positive. They wrote that article, and then a lot of them wrote about 2 or 3 more articles calling us names or whatever it is. But we saw a great increase in clients, which is all that mattered. But I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys have. But just to recap, the 4 reasons or 4 ways that we saw Shoot's growth, and the reason it spread so fast is because of authenticity, growth hacking, urgency, and that it was actually a good product that solved the problem. Thank you.
Which of the 4 do you think was the most important? Which of the 4 was the most important?
The question was, which of the 4 was the most important? I think the one that was the most important was the good product or good idea that solves a problem. You know, I think that's really, and you know, to give you some, I had another story. You know, my wedding actually. I proposed to my wife 2 years ago, and I'll fast forward. I'll skip the story to not bore the fellas in here. But long story short, the wedding proposal video that I made at the end went viral and just went all over the place. And we were contacted by a few publications, as well as TV stations that loved our story so much that they decided to sponsor the entire wedding and air it live on TV. So Friday, actually, I was live on Fox in New York City, basically 2 years later, detailing you know, how it's like been, whatever, that kind of thing. But I mean, even something like that, and the reason that it spread so far is because at the end of the day, it was good content, right? It's content that people can relate with. It's something that people can look at and say, this could be me, or this was me, or something like that. And the same thing that happened with Shoot. People look at it and say, oh man, I've broke my phone screen before, or I could break my phone screen, you know? All the other components are important, but we see that at the end of the day, it's about how good the thing is. You know, for this conversation, I labeled it as a good idea, but if we want a more general definition, it's really whatever the content is, whatever the app is, whatever the product is, as long as it's actually good, right? That was at least the strongest part of the 4. But
it was a good story.
Yeah. Comment was, it was a good story. Any other questions? All right, round of applause. Thank you.